Help, guys, help, help, help. I am reaching a point in my life where I'm having a crisis over the weight of the lights that I'll be using during this hill climb season. So I got these when I was racing the Marmot earlier this year. On the UK Hill Climbing Facebook group, there's been some like really obscure lights that people have stripped down about this size, literally down to the microchip. So I'm going to weigh these and see what they come out as. So I'm preparing myself for the onslaught of comments that I will get over the next couple of weeks, well, the next 2 months. People saying, why am I riding disc brakes on a bike that's going uphill? Well, this is my do-it-all bike. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like, I enjoy cycling, I enjoy all forms of cycling. The hill climb season just forms like a small part of that. I love it, I love what it offers me, and I love the fact that it gives me an excuse to batter myself up a climb. And that's the main reason I do it, I've got to be honest. Winning the event and, you know, things that come with that, you know, that's just a bonus to me. So I'm riding my beloved Factor Auto Vam, and I'm going to take it up some climbs as fast as I can. Yes, it's got disc brakes, but you know, that's not the thing that's holding me back. Like, my fitness and everything else is the thing that's holding me back. So I'm still going to give it my best shot, but we need to clean the bike before we head off this weekend to this hill climb. See, I told you it needs a clean. But keeping on the theme of like weight and where I'm saving on this bike, although it's super light as it is, like as far as a disc brake bike goes, there are some things I will be changing, but I won't be changing just yet. So I'm quite old-fashioned, and I like to use inner tubes. I like the security, I like how they feel, and I'm pretty old school in that regard. I picked up some Tubalitos, and I have put them on my Black Ink 20 wheel set. Pretty light wheel set as it is, but it's now been made lighter by this tube and super light clincher setup. This is a 23mm Pirelli P0 Velo TT clincher tire. Super slick, probably only useful in dry conditions. I've got something coming that I'll be using in the wet, so stay tuned for that as well. I know we're getting really geeky, aren't we? So let me know if you're doing any hill climbs, and if you have like anything that you use or like to use when it comes to tires or tire setup. I'm going to be playing around with tire pressures and stuff over the coming weeks as well. But these tires weigh 160 grams per tire. It's super fragile, and with the tube as well, the tire and tube comes in at just under 200 grams, so it's virtually nothing. Okay, so let's put this hill climb season into context. Given that this is the first hill climb video, like in the series, I want this to be the place where we set like the standard, like you know what to expect. So last year I had 1 or 2 messages actually after the British Hill Climb Championships saying to me that I was taking the mick, like taking the pee, by like turning up to the National Hill Climb Championships as a former winner on a bike that was about 1.5 kilos heavier than other people's, thinking that I was going to win it, and you know, almost like people thinking that I wasn't taking it seriously because I didn't invest in my equipment. I want to say that I actually hate that side of sport. I hate the elitist side of sport, where there's a very select minority of people who think that if you're going to do it properly, you have to, like, you know, you have to invest in every single thing. And it's part of why the time trialing scene, to a certain extent, it's an arms race where people can't afford the fastest equipment, and so they just have to make do. Now, I was a little bit offended by some comments last year, people thinking that I wasn't taking it seriously, and people also thinking that, you know, because of the equipment I was riding, and, you know, showing up to the British Hill Climb Championships with a handicap, so to speak, on my equipment, that I was just like, I was almost laughing in the face of my competitors. First of all, I have nothing but respect for my competitors. And second of all, I'm also bound to a certain extent, contracts and, you know, the sponsors that I'm using. This year, more than ever, you know, Laverack Velo have been very, very good with me, you know, allowing me one of the best bikes in the world, quite literally a hyper bike. You know, it's not even in a super bike category. The O2 VAM is hyper bike. Let's get things straight. And, you know, their support is amazing. But I'm now in a place where I'm not just, you know, doing hill climbs, because not every hill climb will suit me. I have to accept that. Like, not every hill climb is like Alpe d'Huez. For me, it's always about competing. It's always about pushing yourself. And this is the best excuse ever to push myself. And also, I'm on better equipment than I ever have been. You've always got to compare your own equipment to what you've used in the past, not comparing, like, you know, George's 5.3 kilogram hill climb bike to my 6.2 kilogram bike. It's comparing my 6.2 kilo hill climb bike to my 6.8 kilogram hill climb bike that I used to use. So it's always about bettering yourself. And, you know, this is getting a long segment now, but you've got to bear with me because it has to be said. But, you know, I'm using equipment that I've been given, I've been sponsored by, and I'm doing more than what I was doing. So when I won on Hay Tour, a lot of people forget, when I won on Hay Tour, the national championships, I was beating top standard riders on a heavier setup. My bike was 7.1 kilograms, fully stripped. People seem to forget that. They seem to forget that I won because the climb was longer and because pacing and everything else came into it. It wasn't necessarily about the weight of the bike. So there was more to it. And I'm just biding my time until there's climbs that come that suit me. But that doesn't stop me from having fun on the equipment that I have and pushing it to its limits. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that I'm not trying to poke fun at people. I'm not trying to turn up and think like, oh, I'm going to win it. I mean, yes, I think I could win the events. There's no harm in that. You know, I think I'm one of the best. I'm going to turn up to the events and try and win. I'm going to try and do my best on the equipment that I have, but I love doing it on the equipment I have, and that's the key thing. So in fairness, I've had great conversations with those people to try and iron out the wrinkles and to try and find out, you know, why they think the way they think from the outside, like what it looks like watching me do these hill climbs on a bike that's disc brake, and, you know, that's heavier than, you know, the other people in the top 5, for example. But it's not about that, you know. It's about enjoying what you're doing and taking that mindset that, like, you know, you have to be riding, because there is a lot of tradition in hill climbing, you know, and if people aren't drilling holes in their bike, and if they haven't got handlebar tape on their bike, then they're not doing it properly. You know, there's a lot of tradition in it. But that does mean that we're preventing people from all backgrounds from joining in. So I'm just trying to make hill climbing appealing. I know I'm doing it on a very expensive bike. I know it's high spec, you know, and to get it to the weight that it's going to be, you know, does involve a lot of money, and I realize that from that angle. But please, please, please realize that these videos are about participation and, you know, getting to the start line and making yourself the best physical shape you can possibly be in, and then your equipment does the rest. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for me, it's always pushing yourself first. So anyway, that's a super long segment. Oh my word, how on earth am I going to fit that into the video? I really don't know. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. See, this is me when I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I just needed to say that. It probably didn't make any sense either, did it? But anyway, I hope you get it. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the video. It's going to be a super long one now after that. Yeah, I hope I made myself clear enough with what I've just said. And so, the 2022 hill climb season begins. To our first race. Made it to the hotel. Glamorous travel lodge tonight. Bike's here in the corner, keeping me company. You can't see it, now you can. All set up, ready for tomorrow. Quite literally spoiled for choice for beds tonight.
So, why did you want to come around? I just wanted to be part of it.
Well, I'm certainly in shape. It's whether or not I can put what I've worked for now into practice. So looking forward to tomorrow's hill climb. The first one is always like, I don't know, I always feel a bit rusty going into the first one, because it doesn't matter how many training sessions I've done or how many mock intervals I've done or race days to simulate. It's never quite the same as, like, you know, turning up and seeing people there and putting the number on and stuff like that. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna catch up on the Vuelta this evening. Kettle's boiling, make myself a cup of tea. Okay, race day, and this is my favourite part of the race videos because, well, mainly this year at least, most of the hill climbs are brand new to me, so they'll be brand new to you too, hopefully. So how the race day videos go, if this is the first time watching, I usually chat to you guys about the course, how I'm going to tackle the climb, how I'm going to break it down, go into a little bit of detail about pacing and everything like that, and then it's a bit more than just, you know, giving you a bit of a whitewash sort of video about, yeah, this is the race, and yeah, I've come fourth, or yeah, I've won the race, and like, that's it, and I go home. I try to give you some kind of value in it. I try to give you some sort of behind the scenes, like, insight, so that maybe there's something to learn from it, maybe there's something that I do wrong, or maybe there's something that you've never seen before and you want to implement that into your routine, you know, anything. And that's why I film these hill climb videos, at least the race day ones, with so much detail. I hope in so much detail. So it's 6:30 now, and I'm going to drive the last 40 minutes to the headquarters, which is right on a seafront. It should be really pretty, actually. The climb is right on the seafront, and I will try and set the bike up and get kitted up really quickly so that I can go and recce the climb. I think I will treat myself to recce the climb, which I don't often do, and then we'll just relax. I'll probably pick up the camera again and fill you in on what's happening. By the way, if there's anything you spot me doing in these videos, like anything, even the smallest detail, ask me a question in the comment section about why I'm doing it. Or sometimes it's the smallest things, like when I'm shooting like B-roll like that you might notice, like, what's this bag I've got? Like, why is this bag different to my other bag? Well, one bag is my kit bag, for example, and this bag is just my food bag. So, you know, hopefully that answers your question. Parking has turned into a little bit of a last minute panic this morning. I've only got 50 minutes until I start, so that doesn't really give me a lot of time, I gotta be honest. But anyway, we're gonna make the best of it. I have found somewhere to park. It's right on the hill, just before the steepest section, so just up there, where it goes into the trees. I wish I could show you actually later, maybe I will if I got time. I'll go up to the top and you can see the view down, like you can see like all that footage I took of the seafront. Basically you can see all of that, and it looks absolutely spectacular, I do say. So the plan of attack for this race. The details of the climb are on screen right now, hopefully, if I've edited it properly. So obviously the top bit is the steepest part, and the shallowest bit is, well, virtually at the bottom. And we have favourable wind conditions, so it will no doubt help slightly, for the first bit at least, pick up speed and then maintain little bit of speed without using too much effort. I'm glad I'm on the right climb because that cyclist has just proved it. But I'm just going to ride this one today off a feel. But that does mean I have a small pacing strategy in mind, which is to start conservatively. I'm going to aim to sit at around 420 to 430 watts. And then I will aim to produce most of my power in the last half of the climb. So if the climb, for argument's sake, today is going to take me 5 minutes, I'm probably going to be looking somewhere in the region of that last 2.5 to 3 minutes being my best power for this hill climb. And that's because the gradient dictates that, but also if I'm going to be riding to my critical power, which for me for about 5 minutes is going to be around that 450, 460 watt mark, then I don't want to be digging into that too early, because that will really eat into my reserves far too soon, and then I probably won't be able to finish strong. So the goal today really is to give it my best, to finish strong, or to finish stronger than I started at least, and to give myself a marker to see where I stand this early in the season. Come on, let's have that cheer again. Well, there's nothing like your first effort to blow out the cobwebs, is there? I think my finishing time, although not official yet, was 5 minutes. 5 minutes flat-ish. I did about 450 watts, which is near enough to, close enough to a personal best. But because the climb had a flat section for the first minute, then that kind of skews the 5 minute data. But I am well chuffed with that effort. But for now, I'm going to go for a ride, training ride, do a couple of climbs, make the most of my time here. So, awesome climb. Awesome club organising, great cheering on the climb, is awesome. Awesome, awesome. I'm a bit cooked now, but it's definitely worth doing that straight after the hill climb, because at the end of the day I have got myself into race mode and everything is fairly optimal, so might as well use as an excuse to also get a session in. So I'm going to embrace my sweaty 3-hour drive back home now, and I will fill you in the next clip. Oh, look at this. It's my trophy for second place. How cute is that? I'm going to wrap up this video here because it's been long enough already, but I'm just about to film the follow-up to this hill climb video where I'll be delving into the data, be a bit more nerdy about like how I paced that climb and everything else. Otherwise, we're just going to be like rambling on for a 30-minute video. So thank you so much for watching this video if you got this far. Well chuffed with my ride, really good legs, a good opener to the year as well. Considering it was almost a 20-hour training week, I'm intending to keep that volume like roughly there or thereabouts the next couple of weeks as well. So get used to seeing like lots of rides from me. But yeah, like shout out to the organisers, the fans cheering on the side of the road, which was pretty cool as well. I managed to get up there and ride with them for a little bit. Shh. And yeah, it was just a good day, great venue, and I would definitely go back. I would definitely recommend. The bike ran perfectly, felt awesome on the climb, especially on the steep bit as well. But yeah, pretty tired now, so I'm going to get this wrapped up. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. And as Baby Yoda says, the force is strong with this one. I'll see you in the next video.